G'day everyone, it's Justin
and Scott.
Two dads again from Australia, and we're coming to you today from a 2022 Genesis GV80 SUV. Okay mate, wow, I think I'm just going to say this up front. I reckon this might be the best value for money, and as Matt says, feature rich luxury car in Australia. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the spec sheet just goes on and on
It's
and on
13
and on.
pages,
I
isn't
know.
it?
I've read shorter novels, yes, I'd say it's got a lot of great practical, funky stuff that you don't get on a lot of other cars, and a lot of toys too as well. So some fun stuff. Yeah.
Well, I guess yeah, we want to try and make this a reasonably short video, but there's a lot of bits in this car that you could talk about, isn't it? So
Is.
look, we'll try and make this as short as possible. So it's all right. Look, we'll give it a go. Genesis is Hyundai's luxury brand, okay? It's like what Lexus is to Toyota, and the GV80 is their luxury SUV flagship, which competes with others like the BMW X5, yes. I think the Audi Q7 and things like that, right?
Yep.
The GV80 was first released in Australia in 2020, late 2020, and it had an upgrade earlier this year. It comes with several different engine and seating options, starting with a rear-wheel drive 2.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo, and that has a list price of about $92,000, and that puts out 224 kilowatts and 422 newton meters, and that comes as a 5-seat only. Okay. You can then go up to a all-wheel drive version of the 2.5 litre turbo at $97,000. That comes as a 7-seater or a 6-seat luxury version at extra cost. Then you go up to a all-wheel drive 3 litre 6-cylinder turbo diesel at $105,000. Which puts out 204 kilowatts and 588 newton meters, and this comes with 7 seats and as an optional 6-seat luxury version too. And finally, we're almost there. You can get to the top of the range all-wheel drive 3.5 litre twin turbo V6 petrol for $109,500. Like we're in today,
yes.
Which puts out 279 kilowatts and 530 newton meters, and you can get this in 6 or 7 seats as well. Okay. Now it comes pretty well equipped as standard, as it should, being a luxury SUV, I suppose. So it comes standard with leather trim, panoramic glass sunroof that's split in there,
yep.
Heated and ventilated powered driver and passenger seats. A 14.5-inch touchscreen with an inbuilt augmented reality navigation system and head-up display. 21-speaker Lexicon by Harman premium audio system, and a power tailgate. And I'm running out of breath. Okay.
Yeah, we said the list was long. Yes.
But there's an optional luxury package on all models for an additional $10,500, and this includes some nice extra features such as quilted Napa leather trim, remote smart parking assist, 18-way front driver and passenger with a massage feature, yes. And we'll talk about that later.
We'll definitely touch on that.
3D 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, heated and ventilated second row seats, and electric soft closed doors. But wait, there's more. But if you want to go full on luxury, you can option up what they have as a 6-seat luxury package like we're in today.
Yes.
Instead on the all-wheel drive versions for $13,500, and that gets electric captain style second row bucket seats with a relaxed mode recline feature, 9.2-inch rear seat entertainment system, powered sunshades for the second row as well, roof vanity mirrors, electrically operated third row seats, and rear controls for the air conditioning and infotainment, and a QI charger in the back as well. Anyway, now that you've had the GV80 for a bit this week, mate, tell us how it drives.
Yeah, as you touched on, the model we're in is the sort of the most spec'd up petrol engine.
Yep.
Yep. And so I've got to say, initially when you jump in this car, it's a heavy car. I think it's almost 3 tons.
Yeah.
But wow, if you put your foot down, I think 0 to 100 is like 5.5 seconds or something, and it feels like it, right? It just takes off like a rocket.
It goes, doesn't it?
I don't think I say this very often, but maybe it's more than you need. To be honest, like, you know, normally I like fast.
I don't know. Luxury cars, can you have too much luxury? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, but you know, you probably notice it in the fuel already straight away, right? Because it is a heavy car, and so I was seeing that it chugging around and actually using a fair bit of fuel every day. That's why I'm probably saying, is it a bit too much engine for this car? Do you need that all the time? But driving it around the streets, yeah, it's just been a great car around the city. You know, I've had a few different people in and out in the last 24 hours, and it gets, you know, everyone's sort of jaw drops when you drive up and they jump in, and it has got that luxury feel in a big,
it's got
big way.
presence, hasn't it?
Absolutely,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How, the people that you took around though, how did you feel about the ride in this car? I mean, it's running 22-inch wheels. They're 265 40 profile R22s. They're Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, the SUV version of those. No spare as well. But I kind of felt in Sydney's roads, the ride's a bit firm. It's got adaptive suspension, but it felt firm to me, and it felt like it wallowed a bit. What do you think?
Yeah, you use the word wallowed. It definitely has. It's a bit bouncy, right? Which I'm not sure if that's trying to take, you know, sort of all the roughness off the, you know, terrible roads that we have here. If that's a deliberate thing, if it's a deliberate thing to make it feel a bit more luxury because it is softer and floats around a little bit over the roads.
But is wallowing luxury?
I'm not sure if it's intentional. That's probably what I'm asking for.
Okay.
Do I like it? Not that much. I would like it to be a little bit less wallowy.
A bit more controlled, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I felt a couple of times driving along at sort of 80 or 90 k's an hour, you're sort of almost bouncing a little bit out of your lane, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
It does bounce around a bit. So, yeah, I think that's something people should have a bit of a look at. Take it up to a higher speed and drive it around a little bit, and just, you know, could you live with that?
That has a bearing on the handling too, I felt too. Like when you go around corners and things, like it's like tacking with a boat
Yes.
a little bit. Like, look, it's not sporty. Let's get that out there for
that's right. Yeah, even though
not,
you've got
it's
the
not
driving
designed for
mode,
that. It's a luxury
sport,
car.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, that sort of stuff. It's not sporty.
Yeah. So, okay, mate. Let's have a chat about family friendliness, practicality, safety. What do you think of the driving position?
I felt visibility, driving position was really good. I think we chatted about this before, we might disagree, but I really like all the dials. A lot of my driving is at sort of higher speeds, and, you know, trying to get access to the radio or change the temperature, things like that. It was all very easy to feel my way around here without taking my eyes off the road, and I wasn't doing really much with the touchscreen at all, because the dials seemed to give me everything I needed.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you there, I suppose, because I think it's not like one of those cars that has got a lot of knobs and buttons in there, I suppose. I mean, the controller here looks a bit like an old sort of iPod controller, doesn't it? So
I thought it looked pretty blingy, actually. I think it looks quite good.
All right.
Yeah,
but you know, like the little test I had was, okay, like turning the volume up and down on the radio. There's no real knob to try and find, is there?
It's a roller.
It's a roller thing that you've got to
yes.
look to. And if you're driving or something like that, I mean, you've got those controls on your steering wheel, but yeah, I think, you know, could be a little better.
I found it quite intuitive, honestly. So yeah, but
right,
maybe
okay.
Yeah,
all right.
different strokes. If you're pulling up at traffic lights all the time, you can use the touchscreen nav and all that sort of stuff easily, because you've got a moment or two between starting again. But if you're doing sort of longer drives at higher speed, I never get that chance to stop to engage that stuff. So I quite like all these dials and everything that's on here in the centre console.
What do you think of the seating comfort?
Seating's out of this world.
Oh.
The massage feature, which absolutely loved, is quite a few different controls. You know, where you can massage different parts of your body. Yeah, it just took me to another world. It was just fantastic. The Napa leather on this optioned up one is just absolutely beautiful. They're beautiful seats, and I actually had a sit in the back as well. The seats in the back, because they've got the captain's chairs in this model that we're in. Super comfortable. And the people I was taking around today, you know, we had 4 people in it. We didn't have anyone in the third row, but the second row, that is super comfortable. It is really set up like a chauffeur-driven car almost. That second row, is pretty fancy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of want to live in one of these because the massaging and everything like that is just superb, isn't it? I summed it up in one word in the notes: excellent.
Yeah,
So,
yes,
it's great.
It's as good as we've ever had anything. Yep, absolutely.
How was it, mate? Easy to park. It's a big car. Like it's almost like 5 meters long. This thing. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you dropped it off to me. I took it into work and parked it in the car park, and I've got quite a tight car park at work. And I had to really concentrate for the first time. But you've got the 360-degree camera.
Yeah.
That makes it really easy actually. After you just parked it once, only second time it was a cinch. So with all the extras you've got, the cameras on the outside. It was really easy. Yeah.
I think it's actually one of those cars that shrinks around you, doesn't it?
Yes,
It doesn't. After you drive it, you get more confident with the car, and it doesn't feel that big, does it?
That's right.
No, that's good, and that's a good thing. Yep.
Yes, very much so.
What did you think about the infotainment system? It's probably got one of the biggest screens I've ever seen in a car, like 14.5 inches.
Yes. Yeah.
It's actually, I mean, like it. A lot of the technology is shared with Hyundai, I suppose, because it's Genesis Hyundai. But what they've done with the infotainment system is really good because it's its own Genesis icons and stuff like that now. So that's really good. Did you have a look at that augmented reality navigation feature?
No, I didn't actually use that, and that's probably because there are so many features in this car that I've been working through them all, but there's still a few still to use. So, yep.
That was really cool. Like if you can set the nav to go somewhere, and it just brings up the front camera and superimposes your directions in there.
Okay.
So,
I'll have to give that a go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was really good. So, yep. The only sort of iffy thing, and this is, on all of them, I suppose, is that Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you still got to plug it in, don't you? You got to plug it in with a cable, which, like, it's 2022. Come on, it's like.
Yeah, we should be seeing less and less and less of that, hopefully. Yep.
What do you think about the sound system? It's a 22 speaker, good spanking sound system.
Absolutely fantastic. Yes. Yep. No, I thought it was terrific. Even gave that go, where you can do the microphone to the back, to the third row of seats, so you can do a little bit of a blast at the back, like kids, behave. And it uses the speakers in the back or something, to tell them in the third row. So, I gave that a go. That's a pretty cool little feature as well. Yep.
I think the other thing about this sound system, it's got the ability to play back video as well, which is really cool because because it's a 6-seater, it's got the video screens in the back. If you put your MP4 files or whatever on a USB, you can play on the big screen, or the kids can watch in the back. So that's really cool too. That makes it good. So,
absolutely. Yes.
Okay, mate. You sat in the back. How was it?
I did.
Did you want to get out?
The second row. The second row is it's almost more appealing than the front row. I mean, you've got the massage in the front, but the second row in this model's got the relax mode, I think it is.
Yeah,
so
it reclines
one little
back
button,
and the seat comes forward.
The passenger seat moves forward a little bit. They put it back on an angle, the seat, and you can pretty much have a little nap.
But it was easy to get in and out, isn't it? These doors open.
It is very easy to get in and out. Yeah, seats are super comfortable. You've got a lot of equipment back there. You've got your own, you can control the air conditioning, all sorts of stuff. So it's a very nice place to be.
The only thing, I guess, is that because the car sits pretty high, like if you're, an elderly person or, one of short stature or something like that, it might be a little bit harder to get in and out.
Were they both references to you? Or you just mean anyone?
Yeah, good
just
on you.
Anyone.
Okay.
Yep. It is a taller car, right? So but I mean, some people wouldn't like to get down into low cars either. So maybe this is okay. But again, something to look for when you test drive it because it may not suit. But I think we need to touch on the third row of seats.
Yes.
Yes.
How was that getting in the bag?
I think I'll still need to see my physio for a couple more weeks to get over it. It was really quite difficult to get into the back of those seats, and they are definitely
that was
not
funny
made.
to watch, actually.
Yes. They're definitely not made for adults, right? So they are for younger to maybe really early teens, short distance type seats in the back there.
Yeah.
They're good. This one has the electric fold-up option
with
as
the
well
too. It's got that.
Yes,
so that's a nice feature.
It is a nice feature. Yes. That's one press of each button, and the seats fold up, and then you've got your boot space back again. So very easy to use.
I think for the kids in the back, like you've got everything really. You got enough vents. You've got USB ports. You've got the screens in the back with the luxury package. my kids, when I picked them up from school, they didn't want to get out of the car.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, no, I had the same thing. So yes, absolutely. Yep.
What did you think about the boot, mate? Practical?
Yes, I did a big grocery run this morning. Seems to be my common thing with these cars at the moment, and went to the markets, picked up lots of boxes of things, and so yeah, all with the third row of seats down, there was heaps of space. Did try it with the third row of seats there, and you could fit a fair bit of groceries. There's still space there.
Yeah, there is, isn't it? It's not too bad.
Yeah, we find on some of these with a third row, we know it's going to compromise, space. It's not going to be a lot, but I think if you can get, a solid big bag in there behind that third row of seats, then the space becomes quite usable, and probably 80 or 90% of the time is fit for purpose. Yeah, so this was good.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, mate. Just a quick chat about safety. It's got everything. How about that? I'll just stop at that.
It has, but it wasn't annoying, right? It was assisting.
It's not as intrusive.
With cars we get into that sort of feel like, in a nanny state, or, I'm getting told off all the time. This did things really well, and I was appreciative when it told me, there was a potential threat or danger coming up. Yeah. I liked it. It seems really well set up.
Yeah. I mean, look, just briefly, it's got 10 airbags, including the front centre airbag in the car. Autonomous emergency braking, pedestrians, cyclist and vehicle detection and junction turning assist, blind spot view monitoring in the dash, so when you indicate the camera comes up again. That's a great feature.
Yes.
Blind spot collision avoid assist in the rear, lane following assist, surround view monitor, like that 360 degree thing, which is good.
That's really good on a car this size.
Yep. Leading vehicle departure alert, so it tells you hurry up, get going.
Great feature.
So mate, yeah, it's got everything, hasn't it? So. Okay, mate. Value for money. Now, this is going to be interesting, I think. So, okay.
Well, there's a lot of decisions to make, right? With this car,
well,
so it's probably going to be a tough one. Yep.
If we talk about this car, right, it's as it is today, as tested, right, it's got a list price of about $125,000 Australian, right, plus your on-road costs, and that varies between states around Australia. So, it's got a 6-seat luxury package at $13,500. The matte paint finish on this car is an extra $2,000. Now, you were chatting about whether you thought the luxury package was worth it or not. What do you think?
I think it's a lot of extra money for the luxury items, right? Not saying that's not what they're worth, because they wouldn't be cheap things to add on to a car. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering whether you really do need it day to day. So, it would be a pretty good car without those pieces on here. You'd get all the performance of the car, a lot of the things we've touched on. You just don't get some of those really nice to haves, but I think they're nice to have, not must haves.
Well, let me throw this at you. All right, BMW Fanboy. You're a BMW Fanboy too, I suppose.
Yep.
Okay, let's look at the equivalent sort of BMW X5. I looked online. I think there's a 4-litre X-Drive M Sport, right, with a list price of $130,900, which is more than what this is. Then with the BMW, you've got to start ticking option boxes to get it to this level.
Yes. Yep.
So I reckon this is brilliant value for money. This thing.
Yeah, well, I think the whole package is good value for money. I suppose if I have to go tick that box though for luxury, I'm probably going to give it a good thought whether it's worth it or not. I think for me, if I was going out to buy this car, I'd be probably seriously looking at the diesel engine one, just because we've talked about fuel.
Yep.
So I'd save a few bucks there. And then I'd maybe throw the luxury package in, or maybe just try and test drive it without the luxury package and see if it is worth it for you, because it's quite a lot of extra coin.
Yeah, but you're getting quite a lot of extra stuff in the car too, isn't it? So,
yep.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I'm not letting you spend my money. You're throwing 10 grand around like it's nothing.
Okay, all right. If you want to save money, I think this is the better car to have too. Okay, it's got the Genesis 5-year unlimited K warranty on the car, right?
Yes.
Okay. Servicing is every 12 months or 10,000 Ks, and on the diesel it's 15,000 Ks. So if you bought the diesel, it's every 15,000 or 12 months, right? However, you don't have to pay for it. It's complimentary 5-year servicing on the car, right? It's also got their Genesis to You valet service. So what they do is pick up your car, drop off a Genesis loan car to you while they do it, service your car, and bring it back.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
How good's that?
That sort of backs up this luxury feel, doesn't it? You feel pretty special with that happening for you.
Yeah. So, what can I say? This is like you know, I reckon a great definition of luxury, isn't it? So you're getting spoiled.
Yes.
All right, mate. Let's have a chat about XFactor. That's our usual, like, is it the kind of car that when you're driving past, you're going to check out your reflection, or when you park it, you're going to look back at it? I think I know what you're going to say. Go.
Well, firstly, I'm going to say I'm sort of disappointing myself, because I think now in the last 2 weeks I've said 2 SUVs are quite good looking, and that was breaking with tradition. So this seems to have done it again. So it definitely has XFactor. This thing looks a bit like a Bentley almost on the outside,
Bentley Bentayga,
right?
isn't it?
Yeah,
did you
absolutely.
know?
That's what I sort of thought it was when you first rocked up, right?
I found out something, that the guy that designed the Bentley Bentayga designed this.
Ah, there we go.
So there you go. That's where you get the family resemblance.
Okay, so there's definitely that resemblance. So it looks classy and sophisticated, and you know, above everyone else when you see it from the outside.
Oh, it's got some presence, hasn't it? This thing
Certainly does. Yes. Yep. And that carries through everything in the car, right? So I think. You know, I'd only say there's a few hard surfaces down a bit lower, but everything at eye level and stuff just feels really classy.
Yeah, I think it's definitely got XFactor, and yeah, like, people look at this car, they do. Like, it's got presence, doesn't it? So,
yes, absolutely. So
definite
XFactor for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, just want to put out a big thanks to our friends at Genesis Australia for the loan of the GV80 this week. I think maybe you and I might agree. Do we have to give it back?
Yeah, I know. I could have it for a few more weeks easily. This thing is really nice to drive around in. Yeah, it makes you feel special.
You know, with Sydney house prices, I could live in one of these. I think so. And anyway, just want to put out a big thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for the likes, the subscriptions, and the shares, and please continue to do so. And yeah, plenty more videos to come, Scott.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys, for watching.
See you later.